Hey everybody, this is Anjanette from AJ's Personal Touch. How you doing? Welcome back to my subscribers and welcome into anybody new. Hold on, we've got the little co-host here trying to make her way here. In a different room than you're used to seeing me in. Normally I'm in the living room. Today I am back in my bedroom. Um, my husband's making dinner and stuff in the kitchen and you can hear it, so I decided to move back in here. But it turns out that it may be better, especially for the area that I am working on. You have to let me know if you don't mind me taping in here. I may do it a little more often. It all depends on what I'm taping and talking about. If it's massage in some areas that I can't do it sitting up like this, then I will have to do it from the living room. But mostly I'll be out there. Once in a while, you will see me in here. Sorry, I just got a message. Okay. Anyway, I didn't realize when I was starting this it was dinner time, and I think, my husband also thinks he's going to get out of the way and go make dinner and doesn't realize how much noise comes from the kitchen. So it was just easier for me to pick up and move back here. So I hope you guys don't mind. Today, I am going to be working on the forearm. The last time, which was about a month ago, which have to apologize again because I was not feeling well. Let's have another little co-host today. Right there, you see that is a little bit. She's trying to get up at something. Just you guys to see, this used to be my daughter's room. So when she was little, yeah, she drew on the wall right there, and we haven't repainted over it yet. So right now it's a nice memory. At some point in time, it will get repainted over. So anyway, I decided to work on the forearm today instead of moving down through the arm because I have a lot of people who have asked me to work on the forearm. And I've done the hand already. I've shown you that, but maybe I didn't go in the best way possible, but I went in the way of what I knew people were asking for. So anybody who's watching these who's not a subscriber, that's why I've gone from the areas that I'm doing, because I have been asked for certain places, and so that's what I'm trying to do, is give my subscribers what they would like. And when I was trying to decide between the upper arm and the lower arm, I had a request specifically for the lower arm area. I don't want to do the whole arm at once because it can take a little while. And trying not to make too long videos. I mean, you guys know me as being chatty and making long videos, but when it comes to these, I'm trying for them not to be too long. I'm going to move this to that side. This is a pillow with my kitty's face on it that my daughter had made for me. So, but I think white will be better for you guys to see with. Okay. First, when it comes to massaging your forearm, you should just gentle movements, kneading, squeezing. Make sure you get both sides of your arm. You can either use a table, if you're in an area like I am, if you happen to be in your bedroom sitting up in bed, you can prop everything up on a pillow like I'm doing. Just make sure you get some nice smooth movements. It's a gentle massage to warm up the area. You never want to go straight into a massage without warming up first. So use a good 5-10 minutes to warm up. I'm not going to use that much because I'm just showing you the basics. But please, please make sure you use a good 5-10 minutes of warm up. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to start on the under area first because this area generally does not need as much attention, but it does need attention, because things can get tight. Now, sometimes it needs more, but the first thing you're going to do is you're going to use your knuckles and you're just going to move around. I don't know. See, I've got the number that shows me how many minutes I'm on in the filming. So I keep moving my arm because it's behind that, but I'm sure it's fine for you guys. Anyway, use your knuckles. And since you've warmed up, you can get in a little bit deeper if you need to. I like to put like my thumb down and then that is my fault. I'm sorry. He went outside. It caused the Ring doorbell to go off. There we go. I got my ringer down. Actually, I am going to just shut it off this way, and it makes it easier so I don't have to turn it back on later. Okay. So you can take your finger here, like place it down, and then that gives you a little bit more stability of when you're rolling the rest of your hand around like that. And just keep moving it with it. Or you can put the thumb with it and go like this. I tend to like to go like this because I like to then, after I'm done going around like this with my thumb here, I like to take the knuckles and then gently move up to meet my thumb and do that up and down. Now you got to be more careful on the underside because this is a more delicate area. And then you go on this side, you can do the knuckles again on this side, back around. Some of you may be feeling a little bit of pain right now because you are dealing with some of the muscles that get used a lot when you are crocheting. I was taught to do some self-massage on my low arm well before I became a massage therapist. Here, I'm doing some gentle kneading, like for you people who knead dough and stuff. I'm kneading and pinching along here. It smells like he's using the oven. Something smells like it's burning. Something was over last time you used it. Sorry, I don't mean to distract you by my talking. There you go. Just some gentle. Right now, I've got it up on the side, and I'm getting that area in here that's easy to pinch and knead. Remember, which I didn't show you before we started this, remember to stretch before you do this. Especially, you want to stretch both arms because you are going to be massaging both arms. Right now, I'm just doing one, and this arm is already starting to hurt. Before you start this, make sure that you do the stretches like this. That helps a lot. Arms out, and like this, and this. Sorry for stopping in the middle to show you that, but I forgot to do it before I started. So the gentle kneadings here. You can do that until if you've got something that happens to be sore, like right here, this is a common spot to be sore. So you work it out, or you can work on it a little bit, do something else, and then come back. Now, once you have gotten all of this a little bit loose by just using your knuckles and doing the kneading. You can knead and grab on this other edge as well. Remember, we were doing this one first. Now we're doing this one. And if you find that you are tight up here towards the back of the elbow and up here in the front of the wrist, there is a there is a muscle that attaches back here at the back of the elbow and up here at the front of the wrist that is used a lot during massage. And if you just move your fingers up against it like this, you should be able to feel it. And for some of you, that may be twanging right now, just like it's a really hard wire in there. Me, I'm not feeling anything right now. And I was hoping I would feel some to help me along with this massage, but it's because I have worked on my arms for so much. It's something that I do by rote anymore when it comes to myself. But what you want to do is we're going to do what's called muscle stripping. This I was showed by a massage therapist well before I became one myself, actually during one of my first massages I ever had. And it's funny because he ended up being my teacher in massage school. So you're going to start here with your thumb where you feel that pain and you want to move and just keep pressing up on that muscle all the way up to your elbow. Over and up. Pressing in. Guide it along with your hand there. It's a little hard to see because we're going across, but with the way your arm, moves, and when you see the different sides, here's the outer edge, here's the inner edge. So I'm going from here on the inner, and I am going across to the outer. The inner here, across to the outer. And just start gently. And then as you go a little bit more, as your body gets used to it, a little bit harder. Get in there a little bit harder. There you go. I do apologize. I just noticed that my arms are really dry. I should have put some lotion on before I started this. And really, before you do this, you should put some kind of lotion on, just so you don't, rub yourself to the point of getting anything, like rug burn or something like that. Now, what I like to do after I'm done using my thumb to do that, and I've done it a few times, I've done it at least 5 times or more, and it's starting to bother my thumb and it's hurting a little bit more. I like to take my fingers and then just in a circular motion follow that area up and loosen up what you've just been doing. I mean, you're working on loosening the muscle, but that's going to tighten up some of the muscle around where you're working. So just do this to just smooth it all out and loosen up what you've been doing. Okay? You should feel that start to loosen under your fingers. And then you can go back, go up, and follow it again. Now you can also pull down this way if you want to. Or you can try and move your arm this way and use your thumb and pull it down this way. That gives you your arm is out here stretched. It's a good stretch. as you do that. There you go. It's one of my favorite ways to do it because it stretches it really nice. Now, as I said, I've gotten so used to doing this that, like, if I'm on a long car ride and I happen not to be crocheting at the time, I will just find myself stripping my arm, watching TV. I'll sit and strip my arm, and I don't even know I'm doing it anymore. Somebody will say, "Hey, what are you doing?" Kahlua, no. Get the window where the birds are. What are you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean, what am I doing? Because I'm just sitting here doing this, and I'm not realizing I'm actually sitting here doing this. Kahlua, no. Mama's taping right now. Okay. Sorry again about that. So then again, for the end, just sit here, gently massage over it. Now, if you don't have a tight muscle up here, believe me, you're going to know if it's tight because all you have to do is rub your fingers along it and you're going to feel that muscle. I can't believe that mine right now is so that I can't even tell that it's there because my arm started to hurt from crocheting, but that was a couple days ago, and I guess I have worked it out since then. So, and make sure you do it on both arms. Now, usually it's just your dominant arm, which for me is my right arm, but it could be on your other arm as well. And again, you go from the inside, top of your arm, and you go up and over, up and over. Rub that out. Okay. Now, as I said, sometimes you can feel it on the bottom of your arm. You will have a tight one. And I'm not really feeling one right now on me right now, so I can't show you the actual way that that muscle is running for me because I have one that will pop out. And you can do the same thing. You can strip down. Oh, I'm feeling it now as I strip down in there. This one goes not across, it goes down. And you can feel that and you can rub your thumb against there again. Wherever you have a muscle that may hurt real bad and get twangy, as I call it, and a lot of people in massage therapy call it, wherever you feel a ropey muscle that means it's tight, you can strip along it. Like I said, this is called muscle stripping. Now, there's more to it when a massage therapist does it. If your thumb gets tired of doing this, like mine just did, you can take like your 3 fingers together. Does not work as well if you have long nails, which I just cut mine back because I'd had some really long nails. But even nails as long as mine could be a little too long. But as long as you're not touching it with your nails and you're using the pads of your fingers, you can also take your 3, because when you're using the 3 together, it's not going to hurt your fingers. If you try to go along with just one, you can end up hurting your finger if it's too tight. And the 3 are going to get in there deeper than just one of them. So just go and you can strip along with those 3 as well. And when it comes to the underside, I tend to strip along lightly from one side to the next. Please, please remember to go lightly because the underside is where a lot more of your veins. You can tell when you hold up your arm. I mean, you've got all the veins and stuff that are on the top too, but the underside is softer. You can bruise easier, and you can hurt some of those veins underneath there easier than on the top side, which has the thicker skin. So where you have this really looser skin, the underbelly, like an underbelly of an animal, the underside of your arms are like that. Do not go in too deep because you don't want to hurt it. You don't want to bruise it. Now, as you are working, if you want to try and feel your muscles and where to go along, you can move your hand up and down and you will get the ones that pop up. And that's how you can feel the one that goes across here. Pick up a crochet hook and get that movement like you're crocheting, and you can feel, see, I can feel that muscle across there. Mimic your motions if you need to find it, but I'm almost 100% certain you are going to find it on your own just by rubbing across like this, and you're going to feel that hard muscle and you're going to go across. When I had my first massage, the massage therapist could not believe that I had never had any massage therapy before that. I had just learned about massage therapy, and I was in my mid 20s, maybe mid to later 20s. And I hadn't even heard of massage therapy before then. And I was at an HIV retreat, and she was like, "Whoa, this was the this was my very first massage. I guess it was the second one, which is where I was taught how to do the self um, massage on my forearms. But she told me she could tell that I had some really tight areas on my arms, and asked, did I have any hobbies? Did I crochet? Did I knit? Because those are two of the top hobbies that will get your arms really, really tight through here. And I told her yes, or any needlework of any kind, if you embroider using those needles and stuff like you do, you know, you guys know you get arm pain, you get finger pain, it hurts. So, she didn't tell me how to do self massage. She just said at the next retreat, make sure I came back to her and she would work on my arms, again for me really well. Now, again, like I said, it was the next therapist that I went to. He's the one who ended up being my teacher. He's the one who showed me what to do. He was like, "Oh my goodness, what do you do?" And he had a form which I had to fill out all hobbies and stuff. And he looked at it and he's like, "Crochet, of course, you crochet. I can tell." And yeah, he's the one who showed me how to strip my arm. But yeah, you want to move your arm up and down. That can help you find the muscle. Plus, it's going to help you're flexing and extending your wrist, so it's going to help with the massage in general because it's stretching your arm and your wrist as you're massaging. So just always remember after you have done work to do a cool down, which is just some nice, gentle, relaxing rubbing along. Now, happen to have done some work that's gone a little too deep and it hurts, remember I've told you before, if you feel pain, you need to stop. If you feel a burning pain, you specifically have to stop because you've hit a nerve. But working along here, you should not hit a nerve. If your thumb moves, quickly or something, and you hit along something and it burns, don't touch there anymore. Stay away from it. You can end up going too deep, though, even if there are no nerves involved. You can always end up massaging way too deep. So, if you feel something that does not feel like it's a healing pain, um, my clients would always tell me that's a good pain. If I would be like, tell me where your pain is, rate your pain, and they tell me a pain level that it's a good pain. And that may be something that you won't know the first time you work on yourself, and maybe not the second time you work on yourself. But by the third time, you should be able to tell when you have a good pain, which means it's a pain that, yes, it hurts. But after this session, after like the next day or two, it's going to go away. If you have a pain, if you've gone so deep and it lasts for a week or more, you have gone way, way too deep. But if you have a pain that within the next 24 hours or so, if it really starts to hurt, make sure you ice your arm. You don't want to add heat because it's going to make it worse. So, because that's going to be an acute situation. So, with any acute, I don't want to call it an injury, but if you have any type of an acute injury or something, you always ice first. You don't add heat until it becomes a chronic situation. So, please be careful, be mindful of your body, and do not press deeper than it feels like you can. Your body will tell you. And we are not equipped to be able to go too deep on our own body. Because since we can feel what we're doing, if we get to a point that feels a little too deep, our body's going to make us stop. I always thought that was nonsense, honestly. And I've told the story before. I told my instructor because trigger points, when dealing with trigger point therapy, it's very painful. And it's going to be painful for a couple of minutes until finally that trigger point starts to melt underneath the therapist's fingers. I just found one right here. I can work on this trigger point as much as I want. And see, that hurts pretty badly what I'm doing right now. And I'm just barely putting any pressure on there because I have found a very, very tight muscle right here. A very tight point. I cannot get that to melt under my fingers. Another therapist would be able to get that to melt under their fingers. I was doing a lot of light, gentle work on myself, and that's why I wasn't finding the muscles that are really tight. Because right now I don't have muscles that are tight per se, I have areas in my muscles that are tight. Before, because I didn't have any massage at all, it would be the whole muscle would be extremely tight. That's why I could feel it. So on these trigger point areas, I will never be able to get that trigger point out myself, because if I apply too much pressure on it, my body's going to make me let up before I get to the point that you need to get to for them to disperse. Like it literally feels like butter melting underneath our fingers. So I always hate, trigger point therapy feels so good after it's done, but I always feel bad because I know that it's so painful while it's happening. But if it's done right, unless it's a very, very stubborn area, you should be done. And we should feel that butter melting feeling within a good minute and a half at the most. So now I need to rub that out because I was pushing in there pretty hard. Now, I'm not saying that you can't press deep enough to do some damage to yourself, because you can. I'm just saying that you can't press deep enough to take care of a trigger point, which needs extremely deep work. And our body is going to make us stop at a certain point before we go any farther. But even the deepness that we can go to can cause damage if we keep doing that same depth over and over and stripping on it over and over. I just made my muscle pop. Okay, I'm glad this just happened because I've been telling you about the one that goes back here. This muscle is not tight, but you also have one that runs along here. So when you're done stripping from the inside to the outside, then you want to strip from the inside and just go up that edge. What I do is I start going up that edge. I go back down and I move a little bit in more. So I'm not on the exact same line. And then I go in and I move in a little bit more to where I'm finally on the one that is completely diagonal. Because you have muscles in here that go from being straight to being laid out along, kind of like flayed out underneath there until you get to the big one that's over here. And then I just take and I make sure I rub out that whole entire arm. I end up shaking them out. And then that is it. I hope you guys have gotten some knowledge out of this. Remember, don't forget the knuckles. I hope that I have helped you and that this can help some of your forearm pain. And please, you can leave me a message up below after you've watched this and, tried it and gone along with me for a little bit. But remember, don't do any deep work while you're going along with me because I did not give you enough time to warm up properly in this video. So make sure you do your warm up properly. Take notes, write down if you need to before you do it. And come back later after you've tried it for a while and let me know how it feels then. Or send me a message. And if you need a little bit more help than what I've shown today, please reach out to me. My email address is down below in the details. You can also find me on Facebook, which again is down. I have a Facebook page and I have a Facebook group. The easiest is to join the group and you can send me a message. Friend me, Anjanette Pizon. But if you find me, it's easier to go into the group, find me, and then try to friend me because people have looked up my name and can't find it for whatever reason. And I've done that with friends and have a hard time. My middle name is Marie, so Anjanette Marie Pizon. Sometimes you need that before you can find it. So reach out to me. I'm also on Instagram as AJ's Personal Touch. And if you want to send me a private message, please do. If you have any questions to me when it comes to the massage videos or any other videos, I am always here to help. So I know I was getting a little more polished with these and I'm a little bit off today, so I do apologize for that. If I seem to be all over the place and you would like me to redo this video, please let me know and I will. And I will make sure that I start with the proper beginning and move on with starting with the stretches, up to the ending. But if you're fine with this one, then that is great. If I need to replace it, I will. But I will see you guys soon. Hopefully, I will be back next Monday. And on next Mondays, we will work up to the upper arm. and then we'll go from there. You guys can let me know what areas you may want to work on. That doesn't actually have um, with crochet, but then again, like I have said before, even if you're having like sciatic issues and things like that, everything ends up coming back to the fact um, your crochet, because if you are sitting a lot, you can cause issues like sciatica issues and different issues like that. So it all matters. A good glute massage is very well needed for somebody who is crocheting just as much as for somebody else who sits and works at their desk all day long. That I'm going to go because Kalua now is deciding that she wants to rub against the computer and everything else because I'm in my bedroom, not my normal spot. So she knows to stay away from it in the normal spot, but Mama moved. So I will see you guys soon. I hope you're having a great day. Love you guys. Remember, you matter. Remember, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, and I love every one of you. And I will see you soon.